Have you heard about the Phoenix Project book? In this video, I want to review it and talk about how to apply that in an MSP. I first heard about this maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I'm talking with an MSP, and we were already had top left. It was called CW Kanban, and I was interviewing MSPs for our version 1. And you guys mentioned it like 2 weeks after each other. I'm like, all right, I need to buy it. So I bought it, read it in like a day or two, and I'm like, all right, love it. Since then, I've been buying it for my team, giving it to clients, and so on. And so I've read it a couple times. Also, listened to the audiobook, which is really well done. It's up on Audible. There's the ebook as well on Kindle. So I've got all three. And for different people, some people like to listen and some like to read. So it's there. And I think everybody in the IT world should read it, because the world is constantly changing, and we need to change a lot quicker. And to do that, we need to put in the people, the process, and the culture so we can quickly adapt to what's going on, what clients need and want. And that shouldn't take years to change direction on the boat, but it should be days. That's what lean and agile is about. And this book is it's about IT and about DevOps. Obviously, in the MSP world, we don't really do too much of DevOps, but those concepts all apply in our world as well. And the book's got there's serious academic themes in there, theory of constraints and lean and all sorts of things. But it's done in a novel format. There's suspense, there's character, there's mystery in there. The characters are great, easy to understand, and then pretty much everybody will identify with one of them, whether it's finance, CEO, technicians, developers, coordinators, managers. So the four people that stick out to me is Bill, who's the main character of the book. He's like the new COO, head of IT, director of IT. Brent is this very smart engineer. He's been there for 10 years, and a lot of things are taking forever to get done because they're coming to him. He has that tribal knowledge so much in his mind. He can figure out things quickly, and as a result, everyone's coming to him for the quick minutes, which slow down everything. And then you have John, who's the head of security. He's got all these big requirements. He wants everything to be fully secure and patched and compliant, and he's worried about that and losing his job, and which all turns out to be waste because it's out of scope. And then Eric is this eccentric kind of character who comes in and coaches Bill through massive changes. So you'll learn more about that. And so there's a lot going on in the book, but there's three things I wanted to highlight to help you to implement it. So read it, and then the book will unpack it. So number one, always be thinking about bottlenecks. This could be anything. In the book, they talk about Brent, who's this smart CTO kind of guy, and so they remove him as being a bottleneck on the transformation in the whole company. But it could be anything. It could be a person, a process, a technology, a client, something in the market. So we want to identify it and then free up capacity and understand the flow, visualize what's going on, and then improve that flow through that bottleneck so it's no longer the bottleneck. Of course, when we solve the one, the next one will become more apparent. But one thing to realize with the bottleneck is if we optimize everything but it, we're actually not improving the throughput of the whole organization. So an example of manufacturing is we can improve other machines, but there's one machine that's the bottleneck. Everything else is a waste. You're just creating more in progress, more inventory, those sorts of things. So focus on the bottleneck and improve that before you get into something else that's not the bottleneck. Number two, understanding value streams. So in the IT world, it could be your client work, you got your business projects, internal improvements. Those understanding that, and then map out the flow in that value stream. What are all the steps? Once you know the steps and you're visualizing it, then you can standardize the work, improve the flow, eliminate waste, those things. We want to design for flow so things move through quickly. There isn't rework where it's having to go back the opposite direction in the flow and just goes through and out. So that's quick feedback. When there's a problem, we want to let the previous step know and the current step know so we can improve it. Another key part of this lean thinking is improving the flow is part of doing work. We don't do an improvement project once a year, but as we do the work every day, every week, we're improving the process. So that's value streams and designing for flow. The third point is understanding value. We can't optimize if we don't know what the value is. Value is about what's important. And so we're going to talk to the customer, the end users, the key people in the organization, the stakeholders. In the book, and Bill goes and talks to the finance director, to sales and marketing to see what is value, what do they want, and then they reconfigure their IT department and their development team and DevOps to deliver on that really quickly. Instead of taking 3 years, as the Phoenix project was, and doomed to failure, they're doing quick iterations with Scrum and DevOps, automated testing and deployment. And then we need to share what the value is with the people doing the work, the frontline people. That way they can eliminate the waste and improve the value and improve the flow. So we need to ruthlessly eliminate anything that's not value. That could be storing things, carrying things around, transportation, administrative, lots of things. So to recap, bottlenecks, 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 understand the value stream, understand value and waste. So check out the resources page on our website. We've got 3 books highlighted there: Phoenix Project, The Bottleneck Rules, and one more. And check those out, and then some white papers and videos as well. So hope that was useful. Read the book, buy it, get your team on board.